Happy Spiritual Sunday to you all. As you can see, I'm in a different location, and I shared with you I'm now in the Los Angeles Kabbalah Center in one of the studios here. Just keep spreading the light. I mean, as we always talk about, at the end of the story, I've heard for 36 years from my teachers. And, you know, every time you say it, it sounds so simple. But in the midst of the chaos that's going on in the world, in the midst of our challenges, we forget. Light removes darkness. The thing to remember, I think part of what makes it a little more difficult is we tend to hear that saying, light removes darkness. And even as we use the example, you walk into your house and it's dark, you turn on the light. It sounds so simple. It is simple. We understand that we don't remove the darkness. It's the light emanating from the light bulb that removes the darkness. But when it comes to our life, we have difficulty. It's a challenge for us to perceive that whatever it may be, fear, anger, jealousy, insecurity, feeling threatened, blaming, victimization, all of that, it's hard in those moments to think of that as darkness. Because we think of it as whatever it is, fear. Something happened and the person feels fear. Something happened and they feel there's a lack, or a person feels something and they're feeling threatened, whatever it may be. It's hard in those moments to really perceive that's darkness, and there is light that will take away that darkness and not only remove the darkness, but illuminate the infinite blessings the Creator has already given us. Oh, here we have Kentucky. Hi, Virgil. Florida. Okay. All right. So we talked a little bit, but let's start with our affirmation as we do every week. Because, as we said, it's difficult to keep in mind the simplicity of what's actually going on, so that we can just do the simple action of turning on the light. And so the stronger we awaken in our mind that, as we say, consciousness is everything, and we can strengthen our consciousness, our awareness of what's going on inside of us, what's going on inside other people or around the world, the more we are conscious, the more we have an ability to bring the fulfillment of our mission in this world. And as we'll talk today, the more we'll be able to defeat our opponent, this thing called Satan, the adversary, as we spoke last week. So let's do our affirmation and make sure I've got it here for you all to see. Oh, here we go. Maybe that's easier. So together, and I can hear you even though we're only online. Consciousness is everything. I raise my consciousness today to see the miracles and wonders of life. I commit myself to behave with greater love, compassion, and kindness towards all human beings. And so what I wanted to do is continue a little bit from last week. I had quite a number of you wrote or gave me feedback, that this idea of Satan versus the devil, Satan being the adversary, the parasite, this program that we programmed and we input in our brain. It's, even though some of you have heard it before, if you've taken any of the classes, you've heard it from Kabbalah 1 forward, but again, consciousness is everything. And we have so many thousands of years and probably dozens or hundreds of lifetimes of being caught in the illusion that you and I have to work hard. We can do it. We're on the verge of achieving the end of all chaos. But that programming called the Satan, that opponent, that adversary, is programmed just like a video game. The higher we grow spiritually, the stronger it has to challenge us, because we're more powerful. We're revealing more of our God light power, and therefore it has to challenge us on an equal level. And so right off the bat, I want to remind us, as we talked last week, This thing called the angel of death, the Satan, the opponent, all these names that we give it, is an angel. It works by law. It does not have free will. It cannot just run all over the world, do anything it wants. It still has to operate on what we know is the law of cause and effect. And taking into account that you and I came here out of the endless world simply, and I know it's simple but difficult, simply to take the light that the Creator implanted in every human being. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to remember. Inside those people who act in a nasty way is the infinite light of the Creator, just like you and I, and we are all connected as one soul. So we are here just to take that light and shine it out 24/7. Unconditionally, which means no matter what I may initially feel, no matter what the circumstances are, no matter who's saying or doing what, no matter what appears to be going on in the world around us, our job is simply a mission. The only thing we came here to do was let our light shine, consciously emanate our light out into the world unconditionally, first and foremost, so we have complete and absolute eternal bliss and all the blessings that we could ever imagine and thousands of times more. Now, then some of the tricks, if you will, of this thing called Satan, and I highly encourage you, if you don't have it, get it. If you have it, reread it. The book Satan, Satan. And as we spoke last week, if you didn't hear it, it doesn't mean Satan the devil. We unmasked him last week to understand that it is just an angel. It's a programming. It's a challenger that we set up inside our brain. The parasite, I call it, because it doesn't have any power but the power we transfer to it by our reactive behavior. So just to look in a slightly different way, this thing, Satan, can only exist in darkness. Meaning what? It hides from us. It doesn't really hide from itself in that way. It hides from us, like things. You could hide in the dark at night, in the darkness in an alley, in the darkness in a room. Surprise parties. So you turn the lights off. There's a dozen people hiding in the dark. The person walks in, they don't see, not because people aren't there, but because the cover of darkness is hiding those people. Boom, you turn on the light, they're all revealed, and everyone says, surprise! Well, unfortunately, that's in essence, from our point of view, what this thing called Satan does, that programming of the opponent, the opposition. What's some of the aspects of darkness? So yes, in general, it's our fear, anger, jealousy, greed, etc., because those are not light behaviors. Light behaviors are love and kindness and compassion, as we affirm, caring, forgiveness, tolerance, apology. Forgiveness and apology are two sides of the same thing. And in every situation we're in, we need both aspects. Sometimes it's to forgive them for what they did, but then to apologize, because when we were triggered, we threw back negative energy. So we want to forgive them for their negative action towards us and apologize for our throwing negative energy back. Because from our point of view, everything needs to be light. Just shine the light. No anger, fear, jealousy, insecurity, blaming, victim. None of that is our true nature, and none of that is lasting fulfillment. So some of the darkness also means in that moment we're triggered. We don't recognize the light is existing there. We can say now, light is infinite, which means there's no place, no situation that the infinite light doesn't exist, but we don't perceive it. Why? Because we get caught up in the challenge of the opponent to see only the 1%. What they said, what they did, how they're acting, what I'm being triggered, I'm being blocked by. The curtains called my fear, anger, ego, insecurity, judgment, jealousy, whatever it is. That's blocking our vision of the infinite light. It's blocking our conduit to receive answers and solutions, what people might call intuition or divine inspiration, we're blocked by those negative emotions. We are blocked, which means you block the light, it's dark. So it hides in that darkness. We don't recognize the voice. You have no idea how many students, as they start to understand this battle is only here in our head, the voice of our true soul, the light inside of us, and the voice of this opponent, this parasite, this not us, this sort of add-on. What's the confusion? How do I know the difference between the voice? Because since we can recall, the voice of our opponent sounds exactly like our voice. So by the time we're 10, 15, 20 years old, we're so used to hearing that voice of challenge. You're not so good, you're not great, you're not capable, it's always going to be somebody after you, you can't achieve it, look what's going on in the world, it'll never end, all that stuff. Feeling overwhelmed. The voice of that sounds just like our voice. So now that we're learning Kabbalah in the center and we understand there is a falsehood being put in our mind, we have to be able to recognize it. So part of that darkness is not recognizing the taunting of this opponent, because we just think it's the same old negative thoughts we've always carried about ourselves, and therefore it's hard to distinguish. The other part of darkness, we forgot that the Creator already implanted inside of us a piece of its infinite light with all the energy, resources of infinite eternal bliss, all the answers, solutions, clarity to any challenge, any confusion, any choice that comes up in our life. That's darkness. That's the part where we forgot that we are powerful beings of the light. We are pure and perfect beings of light. Yes, you hear right away? Stop for a second and listen. I tell you, we are pure and perfect beings of light. I can hear in mine and in yours that voice of that opponent, that challenger says, oh no, look, have you really seen in your life that kind of power? Look at the mistakes you made. Look where you are in life. Look what looks going on around you. Look at the failures, whether it was a business, whether it was a relationship, whether it was some health issue or whatever it might have been. Oh, look, how powerful could you be? Look at that. Yes, that's true. When you block the light, darkness shows up. But when you unblock the light, then the light removes the darkness. The chaos and the confusion go away. That's what we want to keep in mind, who we really are. Now, also along the way, the opponent will distract us. And remember, it has to work on us. Remember tikkun? Tikkun means our soul's correction. Meaning, we came here with all the God-like behaviors, love, kindness, generosity, compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, gratitude, appreciation. We came with that, and all we're here to do is to express that. The opponent puts in our mind the opposite, gives us reasons, and that's what we want to talk about distraction here for a moment, gives us reasons and ways to see chaos, negativity, let's say justification for all our negative actions or the negative situations or the negative thoughts. So some of the distraction are things like, look at what's going on in the world. All over the world, there's pollution, people burning this, that, and the other thing, whatever it is. And please, if you're new, understand that if something here I'm saying is pushing your buttons, don't just dismiss it, don't walk away, but at least stop and think about, maybe there's another way of looking at life than I'm seeing right now. because consciousness is everything. So where we don't have the true, ultimate, pure consciousness of the light of the Creator being expressed and shining out of us, then there has to be some lesser and often false consciousness. And I'm not telling you there are not people who are doing negative things, but we always have to remind ourselves, there are no negative people. There are people who have a piece of the Creator inside of them, who use that power under the influence of this opponent, this Satan we talk about, to act in a desire to receive for oneself alone manner. Meaning, thinking only about me, myself, and I, and not thinking about the bigger picture of, if I shine light outwardly, I will remove the darkness forever. If a person just acts with anger or jealousy or fear in the moment, they will have a spark of light, because it is only light in the universe. There is no dark energy, there is no negative energy. There's the light used in a constructive or destructive way, in a way of pure advantage and long-term benefit, or short-term instant gratification, and then into chaos, like a short circuit. Boom, the light glows huge. 100-watt light bulb shines for a moment, 1,000 watts, 3,000 watts, and then it goes dark, because it's not real light of the Creator. It's not in alignment with what we came here to do. Shine our light out, unite people, be one soul, act like one soul, reconnect people as one soul. Because every time we've done something reactive, self-centered, self-interested, as opposed to we or outwardly, we put up those spacers, blockages, curtains that separate people from people, even separate people from their own soul's light. Think about that person out there who's misbehaving. Maybe they did it in your life, or maybe you're just looking at the world and say, oh, look at all those people out there robbing and stealing and hurting others and cheating and all of that. How can they do that with only the infinite light of the Creator inside them? There's no negativity inside them. There's just light. Well, in the cover of darkness that we've all created over many lifetimes of reactive behavior, desire to receive oneself alone, instant gratification, short-term fulfillment, we've put ourselves in clouds of darkness. And in that darkness, all we can perceive is, I have to get happiness, joy, peace, love, prosperity, whatever it may be, from the outside in, because that's the direction of this opponent. What is even death? We spoke, and I want to understand, Satan, the challenger, is also the essence of the angel of death. It's another curtain. Probably the biggest curtain that exists is this curtain called death. But you and I all understand the light of the Creator cannot be destroyed. And many of us, probably all of us who are listening today, understand when a person, quote, dies, their soul didn't die. We understand in one way or another the soul went on. Whatever you may believe, if you don't yet comprehend reincarnation, but at least we understand, maybe if you consider it, they went into heaven or they went into some upper worlds or whatever, the soul doesn't disappear. The light of the soul does not die. So then what is it really? We want to be very conscious today. And I probably will say something I have in mind that will really shake us up. But I wanted to shake us up in a wake-up way, to wake us up out of our spiritual hypnotic trance that we are anything other than pure beings of the light of the Creator and powerful over any challenge, any chaos, any negativity, not over people, but over the impact that we have allowed people to cause us to react. We've given away our power. When a person acts with jealousy or fear or judgment or insecurity or pity or low self-esteem or ego, we're giving away our power to the opponent. We spoke last week. Sin, avera, is to transfer, leavir, give away our power. So we all know, we've probably all said it in one way or another. Yeah, we know people who gave away their power. They gave away their power to this authority and that authority or this person over them or this friend or whatever it was. They've given it away. But we don't have to give it away. We're here today to understand, no, I don't want to give it away. But we also have to understand how we're distracted. So we look at pollution. Okay, they're polluting the world out there. No, you and I understand the spiritual rules of the universe. We understand spirituality is the cause of everything, the invisible, metaphysical. So as I've learned from my teachers, the Rav and Karen, what's pollution? Pollution on the outside is the effect of people, you and I, in our level, and people out there in their levels, polluting the spiritual atmosphere with all this negative energy, fear, insecurity, anger, jealousy, greed, judgment, all of that. That's pollution, which will then manifest in a physical level as whatever form of pollution you want to call it. Throwing trash in the ocean, leaving trash on the streets, I don't know, burning this, that, and the other thing to cause pollution in the atmosphere. That's not the cause. There is no cause in the physical world. The cause is here. Consciousness. The battle is here. The final war of Armageddon is here. The war of thoughts. The battle between the pure voice of the light inside of us versus the voice of this opponent, this Satan, this angel of death, all the things we've spoken about. The adversary. That's the battle. Whatever wins here will be the direction of our actions. When jealousy, the voice of the opponent inside of us, wins, you should be jealous. They've got what's supposed to be yours and this, that, or the other thing. Then person will act jealous. They'll act with ego. They'll act with greed. They'll act with insecurity. Whatever it may be, is the voice that wins here is the action we will do out there. So you and I are learning how to focus and win the battle here. Listen to the light, focus on hearing the light, realize that this add-on called the opponent is a foreign entity. It's like a spy. If you could identify a spy trying to do, heaven forbid, harm to you, you wouldn't just say, okay, my tikkun, my karma, let it happen. No, you'd fight. I'm waking you up. I'm waking myself up. We have to go to battle, and we have to allow it to be a war against these distractions. So we're going to go out there, we're going to fight poverty. So do you know, in the 70s, the Rand Institute had a study, and their calculations were, if you divided all the money of the world equally among every person on earth today, they said within 7 years, it would go back to the same distribution as it was, pretty much. Why? Because consciousness is everything. So if somebody allows themselves to have a poverty consciousness, to not believe that the light of the Creator has already given them more abundance and sustenance and riches than they could ever imagine, then they're going to seek, with the support and the influence, the taunting of that opponent in their head, to go get from the outside. Be greedy. So we need to think, no, the problem is not poverty. The problem is the consciousness of greed. Not greedy people. The consciousness of greed inside all of us. Because every reactive behavior is a form of greed. I want, and I'm not considering the other person. Whatever it is. I want to get, because I'm uncomfortable, I'm feeling a lack, I'm out of whack, and so I need to get comfort, balance, whatever I think, fulfillment in the moment, take back what I think they've taken from me. That's also forms of greed, isn't it? True generosity is when I'm taking what I have, and it's not just money. Yes, it is also money. time, talents, resources, love, care, compassion, and I offer it. I shine it out to others. That's generosity. So when we have greater certainty that the light wants to pour in from above, the resource, the reservoir is above us, and there's a conduit to the top of our head. Some of you call it the crown chakra, the opening here. But we've blocked it with all this negative curtains that we've created over lifetimes. So what about airborne disease? Some of you, we've probably said it before. The Rav mentioned years back, probably in the early 90s. What's airborne disease? Gossip, bad speech. So the opponents got us distracted. Oh, look at airborne disease, so let's go fight it on the 1%. And please, again, I'm not telling you that you shouldn't do something in the 1%. But what I am encouraging us, sharing, reminding us, is the wisdom of Kabbalah is teaching us how to truly have protection from all the chaos in the world, and not only have protection from, but how to remove all the chaos. Because the only source of chaos, and maybe this is a point I don't remember if we mentioned last week, the only source of chaos is that opponent in our head. And as there's only one soul in this world that's embodied in 8 billion people, there's only one essence, one programming of the opponent, the angel of death, the challenger, Satan, that also has a finger, if you will, in 8 billion brains. It's all one. It's all one. So as we transform and overcome our opponent, we're taking away some of that light that we've given to the opponent, taking it away also collectively for everybody. So every time we do an action of transformational sharing, uncomfortable uphill sharing, if you will, being generous when I don't feel like being generous, being forgiving when I don't feel like being forgiving, being grateful and happy for other people's goods when I feel like being jealous of them. As we do that, we're not only removing the influence of Satan from our own head, we're removing the influence of Satan from 8 billion heads out there, and maybe one person out there that spark of light that was awakened because we took away a piece of Satan from us, that removed a piece from them, maybe that was just enough to shift their decision from hating somebody to being tolerant and kind towards somebody. That maybe made a shift from stealing something from somebody to finding a way to either acquire that on their own or ask voluntary help from somebody of what they may need. We don't have to steal from people. What about just asking people? At the heart and soul of every human being is generosity. If we'll ask with our heart, we reach the heart of somebody and you have to persevere. Yes. Maybe the first person may not say yes, but if you keep asking for support and help, somebody out there is going to give it to you. It's the opponent that says, okay, you asked 4 people, they all said no. That's it. No, what about the 5th one? Maybe the 5th one, and most likely, as we understand Kabbalistically the power of the opponent, it is. The 8th person that Joe Smith is going to ask will say yes. But every time Joe Smith at the 1st and the 2nd, the 3rd, and gets a no, that opponent in Joe Smith's head is saying, oh, see, nobody wants to help you. Look at your past. That's the way it's always been. Nobody there to help you. Your parents didn't help you. Your friends didn't help you. The teachers didn't help you. All these people never helped you. So after 4 or 5 times, give up. No, the 8th person. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And you know, as you get to 5, 6, 7, the voice in your head of the opponent is going to get louder and stronger. Ah, what are you bothering? You're such an idiot to keep going. You think that there's somebody out there wants to help you? Look, 7 people already said no. You've asked all the people you know, the people who owe you favors, the people this, that, and the other thing. No, that 8th person could be a complete stranger and yet ready to help you. They just need to be asked. That's the opponent. So we have to never, ever give up on the light. We have to never give up on the light inside of us. We have to never give up that there are people out there who, like you and I, removed enough of the curtains that, again, that one more spark of light breaks the curtain, that they will share light in a way or a level that they haven't before, to the person who in that moment has built the vessel by removing their blockages, that they're ready to receive the answer. That's why, those of you who've been in class with me, first thing you do when you're triggered, pause, start shining light. Even don't try and figure out, what do I do now, or how do I answer this, or whatever. Just start the flow of light. Light has the answers, we don't, we're just a vessel. Light can inspire us, make things clear. So once you start to flow, well, yes, you're being triggered of a reactive, self-focused emotion. Pause and just start pouring light out of your soul. And yes, it is that simple, because I can hear some of you still saying, how do I send the light? Just think, pause, and just think, I'm sending light out of my soul, out through this person or this situation, out to the world. And it goes. Then, if you're sending light out from your heart and soul, then from above, you've opened the valve at least a little bit more, that more comes in. And as the light comes in, comes the answer, solution, clarity, what to do, what to say, that will be filled with light. Not just how do you answer back so that you feel okay. No, you want your words, you want your actions, which are vessels, to be filled with the light of the Creator. So as you're starting already to pour light out, and the light comes in, and then you say words, those words are now filled with light. So they go into the heart and soul of the other person. But if a person says those same words, but not filled with light, it doesn't have the same impact, because it doesn't reach into their heart and soul. It may reach their blockages, their curtains. So it may wake up a fear in them. Oh my goodness, this person could beat me up, could, lord some authority over me, or whatever it might be, so that they'll do what you want them to do. But then the moment you walk away, they're back to the way they were. And the same way, when you walk away reactively, you're going to be the same as you were before. There will be no added light, because you didn't consciously add light into those words and that action that you did. And don't look for their immediate response. Know that if you're putting out into their heart and soul words and actions of light, it's awakening some light inside them, because it is an immutable law. Like attracts like. So if you're shining light into their soul, you're awakening light. When that light will accumulate enough for them to say or do a more light action, that's on their calculation. That's in their tikkun. We can't decide when they're ready to do, but we can keep sending light and speed up how fast they will be ready. And the more we shine the light, the more good it is for us also. So I want to give you a couple points here. Probably a big distraction, because I hope you're getting the idea that when we're triggered, that's when the opponent will come in and use what's already blocked us as a bigger distraction. Meaning, like the Rav always called him, a master magician. So what's a distraction? Here, look over here, right? What I'm doing here with my left hand, but meanwhile with my right hand, doing something else, this magic trick, whatever it is. So similarly with Satan. Look at the person, what they said, what they did. Don't pause and think, no, here's my opportunity to shine brighter light, to break one of my shells, my curtains, and allow more of my soul's light to shine out. Because the light shining from the inside, it shines 24/7, as does the light of the Creator all around us. But our curtains don't allow us to see it, feel it, experience it. So as you remove the curtains, as you'll break down those walls, the light will shine out. And then it'll be clearer, and like will attract like, so more blessings. So I want to give you a couple perspectives here. First one, maybe a little easier on the emotions, let's call it. One of the big distractions is to be okay. Okay. Not great, and even on the other side, not terrible. Because when it's okay, we're not motivated to push. It's not uncomfortable enough to motivate us to drag ourselves out of the spiritual mud. So like people will say, seeing the glass half full. And some people will say they see it half empty. Either way, it's only half. By definition of that saying, is the glass half full or half empty? We are saying it's half, and therefore, what is the glass really? The glass is 100%. Because half means there's 100% and 50% is half. So when a person's only seeing half good or half bad, doesn't matter which, the half empty or the half full, they're only seeing half. Mediocrity, average, and the Creator created us as 100% light beings, gave us 100% eternal bliss, not 50%. Not anything less than 100. So often we can be distracted. Why? Because Satan will say, oh no, only look at the good. Only look at the good in your life. Only look at the good in other people, this and this. And again, I'm not saying not to see good in others, but only understand. That's only part. We have to look at ourselves. Rav Ashlag, the founder of the center, said the truly spiritual person is the one who's hunting for, if you will, the half-empty part. Because if we're half full, great, 50%. But the Creator's, again, given us 100. So we have to find out where, let's say the next 10% is hiding in our fear. So find out, where are you fearful? Where are you angry? Where are you judgmental? Where are you insecure? Where are you greedy? Where do you feel lack? Greed doesn't mean, a lot of you thinking, no, I'm not greedy. Yes, but you may allow yourself a poverty lack consciousness. I don't have enough to give charity. I don't have enough to support the center. I don't have enough to give away. That's also the lack consciousness. That's also not 100% light. So we want to be able to see, yes, we want to look at good in people, but not deny or ignore that they also are acting in a reactive way. We talked a few weeks ago about forgiving and forgetting. So until a person changes their behavior, you can't forget that they still are acting on their curtains, on their reactive behavior. Can't forget that. Can't look in the mirror and say, oh, yes, I'm already there. I've already arrived. Because you can fool yourself only so long. Then when the lack of the half-empty part starts to show up, or even the quarter-empty part shows up, then you'll feel the lack. And then you have to do something to have fulfillment in that space of lack. So we want to see the whole picture. And we want to use the light and our growth and our evolution. If you're listening to this, you've grown and evolved already. So appreciate. Yeah, you went from 50 to 60, 60 to 70. Keep going, you'll get to 100. So we also want to have that in mind. Now, because the time is going. And this is a bitter pill, as they call it, but that makes it extremely powerful. And because the Kabbalists explain to us we are so close to the end that we have to be very serenely objective. We all, when you think about it now, as we're having this nice time together, we all know like attracts like, cause and effect, law of attraction, action, reaction, whichever way you call it. We know that only like attracts like, which is why we're always learning greater love, kindness, and compassion will allow coming back to us greater love, kindness, and compassion. Birds of a feather flock together. This comes to mind. Same idea, right? So here's what I feel is essential for all of us in the time we're in now and with what's going on around the world, we have to realize, because you and I are here in the center and we understand, or we're learning, this blueprint of the universe, the universal laws, which means transcendent over everything: religion, color, race, nationality, economics, politics, etc. Because beyond all that, there is only the light beings that the Creator created. So be aware that whoever we have animosity towards for some negative action they did, I'm not here to deny that they may have done something not nice, but the animosity that a person will shine back on that person who did the nasty thing connects you, us, to their negativity. Like attracts like. Animosity is not light behavior. So they did a negative action. We have to pause and say, okay, there's the curtains that they acted upon to do that action, but there's also light in their soul. That never goes away, and the light doesn't diminish. The coverings make it appear the light diminished, but the light's still 100% shining in them and us. So by you shining, so to speak, animosity on them, like attracts like, goes right to their curtain of their angry action, of their terrible behavior. So not only are you not connecting to more light, not only are you breaking your curtains, you're actually connecting to more of that same kind of negativity. Hatred cannot get rid of hatred. Violence cannot get rid of violence. Jealousy cannot get rid of jealousy. Greed will not get rid of greed. Any negative reactive behavior, which is the opposite of a light behavior, can only connect to darkness. Darkness connects to darkness, light to light. So yes, they may not be acting as light being, but you and I know the secret. In their soul is the light, and you shine light despite what you're feeling, despite what you're thinking about them. You're shining light out of your soul to their soul. You're more enlightened, and you're waking up light inside them, and you're adding to you not only the light that you shine out, but also in essence, you're adding a little bit more by connecting to the light in their soul. So I highly encourage you, whatever's bothering you about the world, about other people around you, about situations in your life, even when you look in the mirror and you only see your bad behavior, pause, shine light. In our case, shine light out of you towards all those other people. Your own negativity will disappear. Don't say or misconstrue as, oh, well, I have to get more light. No, it's inside waiting to get out. So when we see our own negative behavior, shine light of its opposite. Shine light of kindness and love and compassion out towards all those people that you don't feel kind and compassionate or caring about. Like will attract like. You will connect to the light in them. You'll connect to the light in 8 billion people. You'll have more light in your life. They'll have an awakening. But we've got to realize that when all this arguing, look around the world, we see it. All the arguing, hatred, animosity, vitriol going out there. No wonder there's still the angel of death out there. No wonder there's still chaos. But each side, remember, part of the programming, because we're only Kabbalistically 217 years maximum to the end of all the chaos. But the Kabbalists teach us today we could finish it. We have that power to finish it. How do we do it? Remember, answer the call of the Creator. Every time you're being triggered. I had a student I just spoke with recently, and he's telling me how he's feeling stuck in certain ways, meaning every now and then, because he's been around for a while, and he's seen a lot of growth and transformation and miracles in his life. But now he's telling me, there's a moment when he's feeling weak, meaning he's got an objective. He's got something he wants to do. Something, let's say, in business or whatever it may be. And he tells me he's allowed himself to feel weak. Okay, went on a business trip, supposed to have a meeting with somebody, but feeling a little weak, and getting the one voice says, weak, maybe cancel the appointment. The other voice says, take your Zohar and scan. And he's telling me, no, felt weak, allowed himself to justify canceling the appointment. So what I shared with him, that I'm sharing now with you, because it was inspirational for me, what voice is it that told this person, scan the Zohar? It was the voice of the Creator. So as I'm now going to tell you is what I shared with him. When you hear the voice say, oh, you're feeling weak and not so good and a little tired and this is, no, you made an effort to go on this trip, or you made an effort to go do something that was important, had an aspect of sharing in it, and then of course will come the opponent's challenge. No, tell the opponent as if, and if you're new, we know it's all energies, but for our sake, I want you just to envision it as if the Creator and the opponent are like physical people. So the same you would do if you were on the phone with, let's say, a family member and a very important phone call came in, you would tell them, look, I got to go, I got to answer this call, but I'll get back to you later. So when in this person's head they heard, not feeling so good and tired and cancel the meeting. No, don't do that. Answer the call of the light. Tell your opponent, look, I'll get back to you later. I have to go answer this call from the Creator, from the light of my soul. Go answer, go scan. You'll see how it will change you. So we want to also have that consciousness, because our goal is peace on earth. Our goal is to take away the curtains from the space that caused the space between us. I'll give you this. Our job, creating unity. We were one soul when we first entered into this world. We were then split into Adam and Eve, and from Adam and Eve into 8 billion bodies. Our goal is to take away those spaces of the fear, the animosity, the hurt, the insecurity, whatever you call it. That's a space that separates people. Our job, love your neighbors yourself, means one soul. Put all the pieces back together. Whichever religion you're in, stop. Think Kabbalistically. What did Moses really mean? What did Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, whoever it was, really mean in what they said in the way you understand your religion? Stop for a moment. They meant push yourself against your opponent. Be greater kindness, love, compassion, forgiveness, generosity, humility, whatever it is. That unites people. Like attracts like. As I connect to the light in somebody, our souls are drawn closer together. We have more power against our opponent collectively. So I want to remind you this. Let's say you have a bowl of the most, organic, perfect flour in one bowl. You have another bowl of the purest, clearest water. You have a bowl of the best eggs and a bowl of the most powerful yeast there is. 4 bowls, the ingredients for bread. Do you now have bread? No, because they're all separate. You have to mix them together, allow each of their talents, energies, abilities, so to speak, to mix together to be able to make a loaf of bread. The same. Even we think, let's just all be at peace. Nobody hates each other. Nobody jealous of each other. But, however you want to look at it, this religious group in this bowl over here, corner of the world, this one over here, this one over here, this one over here. Nobody hating each other, etc. But they're still separate bowls. You don't have true unity. So it's not enough just to say, well, we'll be over in our corner of the world and we'll be by ourselves and we'll be at peace and we won't hate anybody. No, our work is to put unity, bring unity back again. I shared with you, I want to remind you, think, last week we talked, the angel of death, Satan, the devil, whatever name you want to give it. The angel of death is an angel of light that was given the task, and as angels do, they have no free will. So it took on the task of putting on the costume, the disguise of the angel of death, Satan, the devil, the challenger. Imagine now we are so close to the end. We're basically, without giving you all of the details, 98% of the way finished. But the Kabbalists told us that years back, we have everything cosmically ready that we could see peace on earth. And this is the power of the center. You and I who are here, we have the tools, the Zohar, we have all the Anabakoth, we have understanding cosmic openings that we can draw extra energy. We can take this angel of light and life out of the programming, out of its job, if you will, as the angel of death. It doesn't want to be there. Imagine, here's an angel of light. Imagine your soul in that same way. The angel of life, who was given the job to challenge us, to help us actually be able to push ourselves to shine more light. But unfortunately, we've given away so much of our power that it's just been all this massive chaos and destruction for millennium. Imagine what it's feeling inside the action of having to extract souls, see people in chaos, because it took the person's fearful thought and reminded the person of fear when they were challenged, which means the ability to remove fear. Imagine the pain that that angel of light is feeling. Imagine the pain of your soul, my soul, other people's soul that's trapped in a body with so many klipot, we call it curtains, that it's acting with jealousy, anger, greed, violence, hatred, all of that. Imagine the pain of that soul. Imagine the pain of the light. It wants to be out. It wants to be finished. Just close your eyes and feel. The cry. Hear the cry of the angel of life that's inside that angel of death, calling for our help, calling for our support. It knows that we're beings of light. It knows we have the power and the strength to overcome all the negativity. It knows that we can beat it. It wants to be beaten. It wants to be beaten, meaning take the cover, the curtain off of it, so it can be revealed again as the angel of eternal life. Karen used to say, you take a piece of coal and you put it under enough pressure, it becomes a diamond. And then Karen would remind us, you and I, we were created pure and perfect beings of light. We were created as diamonds. Yes, when we came into this world, we took on the appearance of a piece of coal. What you and I learn in the Kabbalah Center, what we learn from the Zohar, we can pressure ourselves to do greater acts of love and kindness and generosity and tolerance and gratitude. Pressure yourself to turn the appearance of coal into the true diamond, the pure and perfect being of light that you are. And if you do that and I do that more every day, we bring, again, like attracts like. We'll bring more of that out of other people. That's the mission of the Kabbalah Center. Teach people how to do voluntary pressure to share, to reveal the diamond inside. Because heaven forbid, the only other way is the pressure from the outside. And you and I can look at the world and we see there's too much of that going on anyway. And not everybody's turning into a diamond. They're still waiting for more. But again, like attracts like. So the more of us, you and me, who are in a good way, don't take pressure in a negative way, but we're really pushing ourselves by awakening a desire. perceive right in front of you is that diamond. In front of you is your piece of heaven on earth. In front of you is eternal blessings, peace, health, love, prosperity in all the right people, with all the right situations, having all the right things. It's right in front of you. Use that as motivation to pressure yourself to share more. Use the tools more. We have the Zohar, the most powerful tool in the universe, the brightest light, but it can only be activated, so to speak, by us relative to our world. It's shining light. You scan the Zohar, you channel light out into the world. Help us spread the Zohar around the world. Go online and look about the Zohar project. How many miracles are taking place? How many people are being introduced? We have students out there, wherever they go, they travel, handing out pocket Zohars, offering people this book of blessing, peace, protection. And every person who accepts it is revealing more of the Zohar's light. More light revealed, less darkness. More light revealed, less pain and suffering and confusion and chaos in our own life. Less pain and suffering, less divisiveness going on in the world. Light is unity. Darkness is fragmentation. Reactive creates curtains, separate people. Proactive behavior takes away the curtains and draws other people to also take away their curtains. It's time to let the angel of death retire. It wants to retire. It wants us to reveal, to achieve our mission of manifestation of peace, love, harmony, joy in this world, to bring the world back in physicality to the Garden of Eden that it was when the world was first created. That never disappeared, it's just been covered. It's our job to uncover it. Use whatever Garden of Eden, heaven on earth would mean to you as a vision in your mind. That's your destination. That's your goal. Strengthen your desire for it. So when you're triggered and you pause, the voice of the light inside you will be so loud that you basically won't even hear the voice of the opponent. Therefore, you will just do. Yes, it's an exertion, it's an effort, it's an uncomfortable act of sharing. But that moment of discomfort will bring you an eternity of joy, peace, and love. And the more of us do that, and we expand that light being revealed, the faster we cover the world with light. We awaken the pure light in the heart and soul of every person. And we will be again one unified soul living in heaven on earth. May it happen in our lifetime, and with all of our support, our actions, it will take place. God bless. So yes, I do have a meditation, one of our 72 names, but as we always do. And again, I thank you, those of you who have contributed, and I ask those of you who may not have contributed yet, and you may watch regularly, just open your heart. Take this moment that we're going to bless our offering, just to open your heart and ask your soul, what can I give? How much have I received from the center, from these lessons, Spiritual Sunday? And open that piece of your heart, unlimited, that it allows you also to really perceive that what we do in the center is only 8 billion people. There's nothing that's only about a limited group. The center from its inception is only about 8 billion because there's only one soul. So allow your heart, your soul to guide you in that which you can give, and you can support what we're doing here. So let's take a moment, and since we're only online, okay, I put the thing there, just close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath just to relax and appreciate. Look back on your life. See where you are in this moment. And yes, see the good. Have gratitude for all your talents and abilities. Have gratitude for all your resources. Have gratitude for all the people and things in your life. And as you look back even, have gratitude for some of those challenges in your life that you see already clearly has made you a better person. And understand now that you're learning in the Kabbalah Center how much more of that you can do, taking every challenge, every difficult situation, and using it as a means to evolve to your higher level of your light beingness by shining light into the darkness and, in essence, extracting more light. And so this gift, this donation that you give to the center, know with certainty reaches to the heart and soul of 8 billion people through the Zohar Project, through the teaching of this wisdom that awakens the heart and soul of every person to their true nature, that they will express more of it, and that they will support the speeding up of the spread of the Zohar, removing the clouds of darkness, bring the angel of light and life out of the curtain and covering of the angel of death, the challenger, the opponent. And as 8 billion people are being blessed by you, they are in return blessing you 8 billion times over. Together we say, Amen. So yes, I know we've done a little extra time here. So those of you who can be with us, this is one of the 72 names, Nun Yud Taf. The Hebrew letters, as a reminder, are just portals of light. They're portals to the upper world. Therefore, they shine the infinite light of the Creator. Like attracts like through our eyes, reaching into our soul, activating the light of the Creator inside of us. Nun Yud Taf is the death of death, as we spoke about. We want to extract the angel of life out of its role as the angel of death. So just look at the shapes, Nun, Yud, Taf. Let them be engraved in your mind's eye. So they're activating the pure, infinite light of the Creator inside you. And now I ask you, sit comfortably in your chair, in your seat. Feet flat on the floor, hands comfortably in your lap. Breathing in through your nose. Hold the breath for a moment. Exhale through your mouth. Allowing yourself to relax, using the light of the Creator that's in the air, in the breath, to create a stronger circulation of that light in you, cleansing from head to toe some of the blockage, and as you exhale, letting go of those blockages. Allow yourself to relax, to be open to the light in your soul, to the infinite light all around you. Feeling the true lightness of your being. And so now envision in your mind's eye a beam of light extending from the upper worlds to the top of your head. And envision these three light force particles, Nun, Yud, Taf. Envision them coming down on this beam of light and also coming to the top of your head. And see them glowing with the light of the endless world, the light of the Creator, the light of eternal life and pure goodness. See it glowing, feel its vibration, sense the comfort in the power that it emanates. And now allow this power to remove the covering of the angel of death, Satan, the adversary. Allow it to enter through the top of your head. Fill your being with this light of Nun Yud Taf, that every cell of your body, the light inside, is being activated to its higher level, removing the curtains of darkness, removing the blockages. Allow the mind to think only the thoughts of the light, the body to act and move only to express and share light, the heart to feel so much love from inside, so much unconditional love, that you allow it to shine out, removing the covers that have blocked your heart. The soul feeling a greater, higher awakening of the pure light being, this amazingly powerful emissary of the Creator, conduit of this light, consciously shining this light of immortality, the death of death out through the blockages, the curtains, the coverings over your soul. Let's see together that beam of light radiating from our heart and soul through the Nun Yud Taf, reaching into the heart and soul of all your family and friends, awakening their true immortal nature, piercing through their klipot, their blockages, their curtains, to awaken in their mind greater thoughts of sharing their light on a higher level, awakening in every cell in their body the desire to do actions, moving to share light, the heart and soul of every person being awakened to feel love for others and unity with the peace of the one soul that's in other people. See this group of your friends and family glowing with light. And now through all of our friends and family, out to the heart and soul of every human being on earth. see the Nun Yud Taf awakening, the light of the angel of life and light inside every person, awakening the light of the Creator that's implanted in them, being awakened, that together in unity, as we extend this light out, there's a quantum shift, an exponential awakening in the hearts and souls and the minds of 8 billion people. There's an acceleration of the dissipation of the clouds of darkness in the face of light. That we see the darkness in the world vaporizing, disappearing. The infinite light being revealed. Envision in your mind, in your mind's eye, peace and harmony. Every person acting with kindness and love and care for every other person on earth, every person that we all encounter. That we draw out from others their pure light beingness as we extend from us on the next higher level up more of our pure light of the Creator through greater acts of unconditional love. Take a moment to notice that greater sense of peace, that greater sense of freedom that you feel from the negativity, the darkness, the chaos, and the confusion, and how much stronger is your sense of peace and harmony, capability, certainty and security that you are a being of light. We are all one soul, and that heaven on earth is within our reach. And then we commit ourselves to make it the priority, so that in every action, every encounter, every situation, we extend more of the light of our soul, more peace and love. Allow yourself to be immersed and feel the immersion. Record, allow to be engraved in your heart and soul this sense of peace, love, unity, and oneness. And together we'll take one more deep breath, anchoring it, solidifying this new awareness, consciousness, commitment. And as you exhale, slowly opening your eyes. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being with us. Please write me, let me know your transformations, your miracles. Make sure you're sharing your Zohar with other people, at least the pocket Zohars. And also write me your questions, because I'm sure things have been awakened in some of the things we said today. I wish you well, send you lots of light. God bless. Have a great evening, great night, a great day, and a great week till we meet again.
Thank you for joining us. If you liked what you saw, subscribe to this channel that you'll be notified when we post new videos. Share the video with your friends, they can also benefit. And check out the website, www.kabbalah.com, that's Kabbalah, for hundreds of articles and classes. Wish you an amazing day, and God bless.